Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
What's shaking, pals? It's your boy Goo. It's my man Deeds to my left. He may be to your right. He may be down below. I don't know. But on my end, down below, we have two of our favorite people, Grace and Hunter Nugent.
Morning. Yay. I think there's an applause button.
Yeah, where's my applause button, man? Come on, dude.
I'm slacking.
And as I mentioned, they're two of our favorite people because they are just amazing. And they are out of Lakewood, Ohio. Am I correct on that one?
Yes.
And we are here to talk all sorts of good stuff today. Yeah, it's convention season. And as most of you guys know, Grace and Craig are putting together something for the 2026 Elevate Conference, the Rolling Window Cleaner Museum. It was a smashing success in August, and they are back for more and bigger and better than ever, as they say. So,
yes.
Happy Friday to you guys. And Hunter, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're kind of in the background there, but I wanted you on because there's a bunch to talk about. We have a bunch of our friends that are going to this convention coming up next month. And I believe some of them are going to be bringing their spouses, partners, whatever, non-window cleaners. And I want to touch on some of that. And we're going to get into that in a second. But real quick again, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody have their caffeine?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hunter, what are you drinking, buddy?
It's my bastardized version of an Americano.
And how do you bastardize it?
I don't measure a single thing in it.
There you go. I think that's you probably go by eyeball, and it's probably safe to say that you know what you're doing.
For the most part, I guess.
Good morning.
For the most part. Grace, Happy New Year. We haven't had, I don't know if we've had an opportunity to see each other. We just texting and messaging and whatnot. Let's go back to the end of 2025. You held a wonderful surprise for Craig. And
Yes.
What was that like holding on to that and not spilling the beans?
That was really tough because I knew for, I think, about 2 months before he knew.
Yeah.
So that was really tricky because he kept asking me, like, who do you think it's going to be? Just casual conversation. But I had to sit there and be like, oh, wheels turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really cool. It was really fun once it actually happened. And that, like, Chris and Sean were able to drive down from New York, New Jersey. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's craziness.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Very
seeing
cool.
everybody at the convention too. It'll be nice to actually get some time to hang out and chit chat and
It would be great to be able to visit. The weird thing too is, like, when we're at these conventions, a lot of time you only get 5-10 minutes maybe with somebody sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on. There's so many other people that want attention and or that you need to visit with. And it's kind of stressful because you really want to spend some more time with some of these people, but you're extremely limited.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were out there last time, Craig set up some kind of dinner. It was my last night there, I believe. It was like Damien, Mike Matthews, Jeffrey Scott, Craig, yourself, and you and I and Hunter were kind of at the end of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Craig is at the other end of the table holding court. And so you, myself, and Hunter, we had this just great conversation kind of going. I felt like we were like in our own little world there for about a half an hour.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And I got an opportunity to meet Hunter and Hunter, why don't you tell some of our friends a little bit about yourself? I mean, you told me a little bit, but you're not a window cleaner. You have worked or messed around with Craig when it comes to cleaning glass just a hair. Am I correct?
Barely. I mean, it
Yeah,
was like
but
surface, if that.
But you understand Craig's brain a little better than most, probably.
I've been around Craig for about 13 years now.
So yeah, you get it. So other than a window cleaner,
Have you cleaned a window with Craig in
Yes.
those couple years? You have. Okay,
So
cool.
when I was in high school, one of the first jobs that I did was to buy her a pair of earrings for our anniversary. And so Craig hired me for like one job or maybe two. And it was at a private elementary Catholic school. And all we did was like scrape crap off of like the corners of the windows. It wasn't anything like super, intricate. It was grunt work, but I was happy to do the work, get paid, But that was definitely like my first intro to window cleaning. And even like when I first started coming over to her house to hang out with Grace, what'd you guys call Craig's work truck?
Big Ugly.
Big Ugly.
Big Ugly.
He had a big utility truck. It was a GMC, and he had that, I believe, in Arizona. So it had like no paint on it at all. No primer, nothing. It was like bare metal.
Like a vehicle from the Mad Max movies.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Mad Max vehicle. I learned how to parallel park in that. Yeah.
But
He also got marine boat certified.
So he had a bunch of like compartments and stuff on the back that he organized everything in, and I swear to God, and I mean even with his workshop, I remember distinctly like, hey, I need such and such socket, and he goes, oh yeah, it's down in the basement. It's this toolbox out of the hundreds of toolboxes that he has. He goes, it's the fourth drawer down
on the right side.
And it's like, all right, yeah, no, that's
exactly where it is.
Yeah, he's looking at his shop and how he has it set up. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if you misplace something, he'll remind you, let you know, like this doesn't go there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Mark
like Walter,
like that too.
Yeah.
Very organized.
I had to explain to my wife, who was putting together a shelf while I was in Illinois. She's like, where are the needle nose pliers? I'm like, well, you go next to the fridge and you go 2 doors down. If it's not there, it's in the other one in the 4th drawer on the right. She found it.
Yes.
So good stuff. Yeah, Craig is Craig's awesome, as you guys know.
Oh yeah.
Dude, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
We can see you. Can you
Something's
see us?
going on. There we go. Yeah, no, Mike, like yesterday Wednesday, I got booted out temporarily, and a bunch of stuff just started popping up on my laptop, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm not the brightest guy. Yeah, it was trying to tell me some Microsoft Xbox thing. I don't have Microsoft Xbox. I don't know why this shit keeps popping up on my screen.
Oh, that's some guy in Pakistan. Why is it not working? It's not working for me.
Craig said that he showed you how to detail the glass. It had a bunch of overspray paint on it.
Yep.
And then like scrub and squeegee, And then Big Ugly broke down at that job. The fuel pump went, and my grandpa had to come help. I do remember that.
That's hilarious. So I have a question for you. Hunter, do you remember, and Grace, do you remember the earrings that he got you for that event, or that he got you with those funds? And are they somewhere fancy for you guys? Are they sitting in a little box somewhere? You still rock them?
I have them in my jewelry box. They're a pair of sterling silver ballerina earrings.
Oh, adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Adorable.
Very neat. We got a lot of guys checking in this morning. We got good morning, Jeremy, Chuck D. We got Damien, Craigie Poo is in there. Sean Hart's yo-yoing. Jessica Battle. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
It's great to see everybody. Adam Hogan in the house too. One of the reasons I wanted to have you guys on as well is because Hunter, when you went to this event, that was the first time you'd been to something like this, right?
Oh yeah.
What was it like for you as a non-window cleaner, but somebody who understands like our industry? What was it like for you? What was one of the best parts for you while you were there? And what were one of the takeaways for you while you were there?
So first off, I don't know if I'd necessarily say I understand it. Like most of the stuff that I was exposed to was just kind of like surface level stuff. Mm-hmm. Like just Craig kind of talking shop or something like that. I didn't realize how in depth everything goes, but then again, I had to catch myself because I was like, no, this is a trade. There's always the nuances inside of the trade. that make it a trade that, you know, that your average person isn't going to know about, isn't going to understand about it. And, you know, I think a lot of people at surface level kind of look at, that's the shame about this trade, is a lot of people at surface level don't understand what actually goes into it and doesn't understand how actually, like, how challenging it can be.
What do you mean it's both sides of the glass window, you know? Kind of stuff.
No, you're exactly right, dude.
You know, and seeing everybody down at the Huge was, obviously it was kind of like a mixture between window cleaning and other industries, power washing and stuff like that. I found it very interesting how the window cleaners in particular were very close knit. And there's an understanding that goes between all of you guys, whether it's, you know, dealing with the shitty weather and, dealing with clients and, you know, whatever it may be. But it was actually really cool to see. It was cool to see how passionate everybody is about this trade that are, you know, that's in it. And I've come to a new understanding about, you know, the actual job itself.
We're like a bunch of New York City cab drivers. You know, once you start messing with the window cleaner, we stop, we get the bat out of the trunk, we start whipping. So we look out for each other. It's pretty nice. And it's like Gook can say, if you see a window cleaner on the side of the road and you're like, I was on vacation, I stopped and pulled in and said, hey, what's going on? Let me get a picture. I see you're cleaning windows. How is that going? You know, we can all relate. It's really cool.
Yeah. That is correct. I remember being in Denver, driving past this barbecue spot, and I see this dude out there slinging suds. So I literally pulled over, introduced myself, took some video of him, and I was like, you mind if I share this? And he's like, yeah, no, go ahead, blah, 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 blah. So I threw it out to the world, and I was like, check this cat out. It was pretty dope. And it is an unspoken bond that goes amongst us that I think, it is kind of like a little tip of the hat, like a nod. One of the things that I wanted to ask you though, Hunter, and this is kind of, and I'm sure that you're always happy and proud for and of Grace, but like when you see the interaction between everyone and how much she means to our industry and all the stuff that goes into what it is that she does and what we do, you kind of mentioned it, people kind of gloss over and glaze over what it is that we do, but to see everyone's emotion and love and support for Grace and Craig, how did that make you feel?
It's awesome that you guys have such like a tight-knit community and like everybody supporting each other and stuff. It's always great to see that kind of community inside of a trade, but even outside of a trade, it's nice to see that kind of community. But just hearing it, especially down there, like hearing everybody like, oh my God, Grace, you know, like people like, you know, meeting face to face or stuff like that. I was like, wow, like, yeah, a lot of people do know my wife.
My wife.
A lot of people know, my father-in-law. It's honestly, it's awesome to see. I enjoy it just as an onlooker.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, it's got to be strange. I mean, we're always proud of our spouses, and we know that how hard they work or whatever. But then when you see other people's reaction to all of the effort that they put into something, it's got to make you feel like fucking something cool on the inside. Like, damn, my wife is a boss.
My wife.
You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So I wanted to know how that felt for you, but I could see when we were having our conversation, I could see that you had a smile on your face. It was like kind of like a proud, like, damn, this is dope. And that was exactly what I wanted you to be able to share and relay to some of our friends. I'm not sure. I think Jessica Battle said she may be bringing her husband. I know Damien. Go ahead.
Oh, I said, no, that's cool.
Oh yeah. I know Damien brings his wife, but she's in the industry. But the whole bringing your spouse or someone who's not involved in the industry to these events, sometimes it can be stressful. But if your spouse is willing to go with the flow a little bit, then everybody seems to have a good time. one of the how many actually did you go into the showroom floor? Do you remember, Hunter?
I would stop in periodically. I was I was kind of holding down the fort with Kim, Grace's mom, and then we would both, we'd go down there. We were either we were getting them lunch, or just coming down to visit and say hi to everybody. But I don't know, how much time do you think I actually spent down there? Probably total out of
45 minutes.
I was gonna say probably about an hour.
I was gonna say maybe like an hour to 2 hours, give or take, like broken up, obviously, but
yeah,
sure.
But,
well, you can really walk the showroom floor. When we were in Nashville, you could walk the showroom floor in about 15-20 minutes if you're not stopping or talking to anybody. And if you weren't stopping and talking to anybody, you could probably walk it in 10. But there's so many interesting things and so many different people to see that it's just a fun place to be. I'm really looking forward to Orlando. It should be a lot of fun. Grace, are you looking forward to that drive? Is it better than the drive to Nashville? Is it equal? What's that look like for you guys?
It's significantly longer, like double the amount of time, but that's not a big deal. I like road trips. Craig liked road trips. We're gonna make it fun. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Orlando. I've never been before. I'm hoping it'll be warm while we're there. Even like low 60s is beautiful compared to what we have right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again. It sounds like a lot of folks are going to this convention, which will be really nice. This is like a little personal note. One of my best friends lives in Orlando currently.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
except she's literally moving back this weekend.
Oh,
So I was like, of course, I finally make it down there and you're going to be back here now. But so we had to have a chuckle about that,
yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think the drive down will be cool. We're going to plan to stay in like halfway because we're not going to do it all in one shot.
Good for you.
Yeah, because we're going to stop in Rock Hill, South Carolina and see if anybody wants to meet up, have dinner, breakfast, whatever. And then I forget where else we're staying on the way back. We're stopping at a different place on the way back. But yeah, that's a lot of driving to do in one day. It's not impossible, but if we don't have to.
Yeah, I can't handle being in the car that long. I'm usually like 6-7 hours tops is about what myself and my body can physically 6-7. You fucking deeds. What my body can physically handle. And I have a tiny bladder, so I'm popping out of the car about every 90 minutes anyways, just to walk around and go pee.
Yeah. You need a space diaper.
I need something, bro. I need something. I need lots of help, actually. So Craig wanted me to ask something. Bogging with Hunter. What is going on? What's bogging with Hunter?
I made this shirt for Hunter.
Ah,
nice.
So Hunter, do you want to tell
mud bogging?
Bogging. So bogging with Hunter, it's Craig is the executive producer, director, writer.
He's a co-writer.
Creator.
Assistant director.
Yeah.
So,
all of the above.
So it's kind of a long story, but it's not. So it all kind of started. I was in school for plant science, and my professor one day is like, "Hey, you know what? Like, if you guys are looking for hikes or something like that, there's this, and this." And then he had mentioned something about a bog near Akron. That was he was like, "It's a really cool bog. It looks like it's prehistoric. They have like wood trails."
I live near a bog, and those are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
And so the one day, like me and Grace just we're like, let's hang out, let's go for a hike or something. And I was just like, you know what, let's go to this bog by Akron and just kind of walk through it and see what it's like.
We took my sister.
Yeah.
And we took my dog.
And so we go. It was a nice time. We get back, and I still remember we're like in their living room. They're like, "What'd you guys do today?" And we're like, "Oh, we went to a bog." And Craig just ran with it, and he thought it was the funniest thing, and he came up with this whole YouTube television web show series called Boggin' with Hunter. And
nice.
now he's already come up with plenty of ideas for the first episode, and who knows, we're probably going to start filming this spring or summer, and we'll at least get one episode.
I made a Gmail so that we can make a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Oh, that's
It
hilarious.
kind of started off as a joke, but honestly, it could be kind of cool.
Yeah, could be fun.
Did you see any cool. Were there pitcher plants and all that in the bog? Pitcher plants.
We don't get those here.
Yeah, we don't really get those here.
We're too cold.
Where I'm in New York, we have pitcher. Well, they freeze, they come right back up. But I live near Moss Lake. It's a bog. And because they freeze every year. Yeah. But I seen a lot of those as a kid.
That's right, because you're from Buffalo, right?
Cool. Yeah, south of Buffalo area.
Yeah. If you're from Buffalo, we definitely have pitcher plants.
We just haven't seen them.
Yeah. Well, they'd be out in the bog, or maybe they're just like regional, kind of like the Venus flytrap in South Carolina. It's only in one area, so it might be weird. True. But what I wanted to ask Hunter is, if you guys ever check out Instagram, there's a guy who does tin fish reviews. So I wanted to ask Hunter when he was going to do. Yeah, I caught this guy back when I was sick in December, and I was like, man, I didn't know I wanted to know so much about tin fish and octopus.
Oh my God, dude!
That could be what hanging bogging with Hunter. Yeah. So if you just shave the beard a little bit and put a little fez on there, you've got a YouTube channel. It's not hard.
So Hunter, you are. So you mentioned that you went to school for what now?
Plant science and landscape technology.
But now you're a machinist, am I correct?
Yes, I run CNC machines at Ford.
Got it. Cool. How long have you been doing that? And how the hell did you go from plants to machines? It's like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, hey, I'm gonna earth science and all this and the heavy metal, homie. Like, what made you decide to make
it's really not that crazy of a story, unfortunately. I wish it was more interesting, but it's really not. When I first started at Ford, I was on the assembly line, and one day they pulled me off the assembly line. They sent me to a different part of the plant, and I was watching all these robots doing way more intricate stuff than I thought robots could do. And I was like, oh shit, my job's going to be gone in 10 years. And so I found out that Ford had they call it an ETAP program, where it's tuition assistance, basically. Like Ford will give you X amount of dollars each year. If you can find the time, you can go back. So
for anything
too. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be related to manufacturing. So I was like, you know what? If Ford's going to pay for it, I'll hustle and get, knock it out as best I can, which I still need to go back. I got probably about 3 or 4 classes left, but it was just more of a backup plan more than it was anything else, but it was something that I was interested in. And that's pretty much the story. And I've been at Ford it would be technically 10 years in April. Mm-hmm. And
Hard A. No, seriously, that's an accomplishment, and that's something to be proud of, and that's gangster, bro. 10 years in an industry, and also working for a large corporation like that, and not getting pissed off and not wringing someone's neck. I don't know if you have or not yet.
A union foreman for that.
Yeah, that's quite. She's. Grace, you got that look like maybe it has happened.
There's been a couple stories here and there, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, we know how it goes working for the man. So how do you go about handling issues at work? How do you go about dealing with corporate? You know what I mean? Grace and Craig and myself and Deeds, we don't have to worry about HR or any of that nonsense. How do you deal with the man?
That's a very fair question. It's kind of knowing what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. And my uncle, he just retired from the same plant that I'm working at.
Got it.
He, his coworkers, I still talk to some of them, and they joke around with me and tell me your uncle wrote the handbook on how to get your way, so to speak. Like
manipulate.
How to manipulate paid time off, how to manipulate
the system.
Yeah, exactly.
I like your uncle. I don't even know him, but I like him.
He's not even that old, but he's just crotchety. He's an ex-Marine, and he's a lot smarter than people people kind of think he is. But he's also terrifying.
Yeah, he's kind of scary. I was scared of him for so long, and now he's like at family gatherings. It's like, hey, Uncle Bubby, what's up? Like, he's my homie. But like for a long time there, I was like,
what's this
particular set of skills? Yeah.
He was Marine Recon. He won't talk about like really anything anymore, but
he was a sniper, right?
That's what Recon is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like
reach out and touch somebody.
Yeah, pretty much. And my mom told me this, and I was like, yeah, whatever, And I didn't really believe it until I went hunting with my uncle, and that was terrifying. Because I've never heard a person walk silently through the woods before. And I was just like, oh, that's a thing. And then, like, we went shooting a couple times, and I was like, no, this guy's the best shot that I've ever seen. And he told me a story about how he hunts coyotes. And, like, nobody really hunts coyotes anymore because the pelts aren't worth it. Like, before, you'd get, like, $90 a pelt. It was, it was kind of nice to go out there and, No, he still hunts them just because he likes to hunt them, and he wraps himself in an old like bed sheet that he spray painted on like a yoga mat, and he sets up about 400 yards out, and he's got a remote control predator call. And
dying for that.
Exactly. And from 400 yards, I'm like, why are you doing it that far away? He's like, I just like to prove to myself I can still make that shot.
It's nice. It's the mental game. He's testing himself. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. You can tell when you talk to him. He's very much a mental guy.
And according to my mother, he's always been that way. He was a catcher for CSU, and he would do research about the other team before, coming up. And I don't mean research as in stats. I mean research as in personal life. So that when they step into the batter's box, he's already talking trash.
He's like, your aunt, I hooked up with her at the bar, and she's this, and yo mama too. And
exactly.
Getting all in their head.
The one guy, awesome. He stepped in the batter's box and he goes, your girlfriend, whatever her name was, Sheila, she's pretty fun, I was talking to her last night, and the guy's like turning around looking at him like, what are you fucking talking about? How do you know my girlfriend?
Yeah. And this is before the internet too.
Yeah, this was before the internet. Like but he's one of those guys. He's all mental, man. And whether it's good or bad, but
there's an old school basketball player that was known for that. Gary Payton was known for that. And then there's a football player that used to do that too. And the name is slipping my mind. But they were notorious for doing that. They'd get all the dirt, they'd find out everything, and then they just talk smack the whole damn game.
Great tactic.
Yeah, it's playing with people's mental emotions is a way to gain some leverage. That's for sure. So, what do you guys have planned for the rest of today? Grace, are you pretty much locked in? Is everything good to go for the show? How much more work do you have? What's the goal for the rest of the week and for the next 2-3 weeks planning to the show?
So we are like doing all of our final organization for the show, making sure everything is looking sharp. And then, of course, we're not setting it up exactly the same way as we did before. We're trying to offer a little bit different of an experience, for folks who were able to see it at the Huge. So just trying to make it unique. And then it's like, oh, we think we like this one layout. Like we thought we had this one corner, like down good. And then we're looking at it more and we're like, wait, nope, we have this better idea, and just completely changed it. So, going through the different design iterations until we figure out what is going to work for this show. And then it's a matter of take pictures of how we have everything laid out and pack it up so it's ready to go. And as we get a wall solidified, it's okay, let's pack it up so it's ready. Because we can't load up the vehicle too early. You know, we're going to be taking a van down, and so we're getting that the Sunday before we leave, of course. But so we need to make sure we have as much done before that as possible. So it is quite literally just putting things into the van and off we go. Yeah. So
that's pretty sweet. Do you know if you have a little more space this time than you did last time? Do you have a little more square footage? Do you have a little bit, like, I don't know if it was 10 by 10. I don't know if it was 8 by 8, if it's 12 by
10 by 10, and we're going to have 10 by 10 again. But so we're laying it out a little differently to try to make best use of all of the space, you know?
The flow?
Yeah. And
were there diagrams made on a napkin by Craig? Like, okay,
but we have note cards where we wrote out, like, drew out different,
awesome.
Like my mom's big drawing pad we drew out to try to, like, not quite to scale, but as best as possible, like, eyeball what the space would look like. Cool. But yeah, so we have a 10 by 10 space. And yeah, we're going to be close to WCR and Edaray and some of the other brands and such. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, because
the
Elevate conference is a half PWNA, the power washers, half window cleaners. So there's going to be a hodgepodge of, probably Christmas lights and stuff speckled in there. So it's neat that you're next to the Zero booth and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're right across from them, which is perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, that does make it nice. It also keeps the flow of the actual whole entire event kind of moving. People want to go see certain people, then they, it's a flow. It's weird that, we use that term, and I know Craig uses it constantly, the flow, the flow of the universe, the flow of, just whatever's going on that day. Setup is important, and it helps create a positive energy and a good flow, baby. You know what I mean? And if you can help line that up in a great way, then it just makes everything go better.
Oh yeah, there's a science to it.
Yeah.
There sure is. And one of the things that I think it sounds like you guys already are working on is it sounds like maybe you'll have a kind of a walkthrough, maybe, because it was kind of hard the way where they had you set up last time. It was almost like you had to walk in to see the stuff. Now, depending on where you're situated, maybe you'd be able to kind of like cruise through and like peruse or something like that. So I'm excited to see the layout for you guys. It'll be outstanding. I love Craig. Everything meticulously approached. No doubt.
Yeah. If you go, so like anybody can view the IWCA Elevate PWNA floor layout for the convention. It's on the website. So if you go look at that, you can see all of the vendors that are going to be there, and you can see the layout of the floor plan too, which is pretty cool. And like I said, that's for anybody to view. It's on the website. It's not only if you have a booth, you can see who all is coming. It's pretty cool.
The map is out. Neat.
Yeah, but that, like, when we were thinking about how to reorganize and set up our booth, like, we had, those side panels, so we could do double-sided, and it was cool, but it created pockets where you almost kind of got stuck when you were looking if it got too crowded in the booth. So we're trying to figure out how we can best flow so that it keeps people moving. And then also, where the positioning of where we are, it will hopefully allow for some conversation, because there will be a larger aisle space between our booth, WCR 0, so hopefully there will be some area where folks can congregate and chit chat, but it doesn't hinder movement through. Does that make sense?
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know, you probably saw and probably heard Deej and I are going to do a coffee Thursday morning. We'd love to have you guys out. We're going to do a sticker exchange for all of those people who have stickers. It should be a good time. And I think it'll be a fun way for all of us to get together and have maybe just a little more chunk of time to visit and not be on the showroom floor or not be at a dinner where there's
a lot of people's way.
Other people talking. So we're gonna supply some coffee and some donuts and gonna bring some fun stickers. Are you planning on bringing anything? Are you gonna be able to make it to that, you think?
I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check all the logistics of everything. But the one thing that is kind of nice about this show compared to, I don't mean to make the comparison of the two, the Huge and the Elevate, but this trade show is, the 2 days are shorter amounts of time.
Yeah.
Which I think on one hand will be nice because it does allow for that time in the morning to go to some of the classes, to do your networking. And then afterwards, like you said, everybody's going to dinners and stuff like that. But there's nice time before and after for everybody to get together and hang out. And if you didn't get to see them during the trade show, then you can meet up beforehand or afterwards and get to see all your homies,
Yeah. It is a great time to visit. To be honest, this past one in August, we got an opportunity to meet some new friends. And in years past, I had already pretty much known most of the people that were there. But we got an opportunity to hang out with Chris Eckstein, Devin, another young fellow that we hung out a lot with. Mike Matthews is somebody who I spent some time with in Nashville, and then he ended up coming up. So getting to spend some more time with, or not Nashville. Yeah, I spent time with him in Nashville, but he lived in Crossville, which is about 2 hours away. So getting able to see and visit and meet new friends and build new relationships, it was great. And we get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about people too when we're face to face, and then they share some stories. And like when we heard about Chris doing his, I don't want to call it flag planting, but he was installing the flags in his neighboring areas. I was like, man, this is such a great idea. We gotta let people know about this because it is, we do bring enormous value to our communities and to our families and just the industry as a whole. And there's, in my opinion, and Deeds kind of feels the same way as I do, I'm sure there's nothing better than putting a little shine on some people that are doing good things. And the more and more that we visit with people in our industry, the more and more we find out about just some of the amazing people that there are here in our industry and some of the cool things that they're doing. Right, Floyd? So, any big plans for the weekend, like personal stuff? You guys just hanging out? You spending some time together?
So I know on Sunday I'm going to have breakfast with my family. Hunter has to work. And then Sunday,
boo.
My best friend Courtney is moving back, so she'll be getting into town that evening, and she is pregnant, so she asked if we would help move stuff because she can't, and her fiance can't do it all by himself. So we said, of course, we'll be there to help. So that, and then working on the museum, getting that wrapped up. I have ballet tomorrow, and that's about it.
And are you still teaching?
Cool. Yeah.
And how many students?
So I think our studio as a whole has around like 90 students, give or take. But then it's grown pretty big actually. But I myself, like my Monday class, I have 15 kids in that class, which it's a lot. I mean they're between the ages of like 7 and 12 in that class, so they're just gonna ask that. Yeah, they're older, so it's not like on Tuesdays I have my little teeny tinies, and they're like 2 and 3 years old, and I only have them for a half hour, so that's not too bad. That's all their little attention spans can take.
I was just gonna say,
give them back to their parents.
Yeah, and then but like Tuesdays,
2 and 3.
What was that?
I was going to say 2 and 3 year olds look cute, but they're probably like herding cats.
Yeah, actually, sometimes they're easier than my pre-ballet, which is the next age group up, like 4 and 5 years old. I have 10 of them in pre-ballet, and
oh shit,
that is my hardest class. I love that age. They are so much fun because they say the funniest stuff. A lot of the times it's inappropriate too, which makes it even funnier.
Daddy words.
Yeah, but when you've got a lot of little personalities and there's only one grown-up, it can get a little tricky. So that one, by the end of the day on Tuesday, I'm like beat because they're so fun, but they take it out of me. And then I teach on Saturday mornings, and that's it. So
So what's worse, that pre-ballet class or a real pain? And I know you guys have been doing this a long time with the window cleaning thing, so you probably don't have too many pain in the ass clients, but what's worse?
Pain in the ass, get it?
I know a little kid class like that, or a new client who doesn't understand you and the process. Or do you guys already have that all laid out prior to?
So that's the thing, is you try to lay all of that stuff out prior to, and sometimes you think that it's all clear, and like with a new client, and you've laid everything out, there's no questions, and then you get there, and then sometimes things change. So honestly, sometimes I think that's harder to deal with, because it just depends on how they either misinterpreted what you said or decided that they knew better, which we do not have that very often. But in the almost 8 years I've been doing this now. Yeah. Working on that. I've come across it a few times, and you learn to start to see the signs too. Like if you go to do an estimate and you get to talk to the person. Yeah. And kind of sometimes you can get a sense about someone. Sometimes they're good at fooling you though. But no, most of the time everybody's pretty chill,
So you and I and Hunter were all sitting outside after dinner, having a conversation. Everybody's mingling. You have a great way with working with Craig, right? And it probably takes a lot of skill and some talent and some patience. Handling some of the demands and his style. Have you had a time where you've been not necessarily frustrated with the client, but been dealing with some other stuff and then taken your frustrations out on a client? Have you always kept your cool, because you seem like you're always calm and cool and collected? Have you lost your shit on a client?
No, I've never lost my shit on a client.
She said
good for you.
Me when she gets home.
No, I really
kick the dog.
I really try to be as cool, calm, and collected as possible, even if in my head I'm not at all. I try to always present that way, because Craig and I talk about this all the time. We have a moral obligation to happiness. It is our responsibility to go out every single day and put our best foot forward and be the best person that we can be. And it doesn't matter what's going on in our personal life, because you don't know what he's dealing with, what you're dealing with, what that person's dealing with. Everybody's got shit going on. And
happy, joy, happy, joy.
You got it. Yeah. And it's not that we should just put on a fake face and, shove it all down. I don't mean it like that, but
way down.
Sorry. But I don't know. You have that obligation to go out into the world and spread positivity, because just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean that you should be the reason that somebody else has a bad day.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money to be happy. So today's word for the day should be happiness. How can you spread happiness? How can you make your customer's day better? The lady giving you a sandwich out the drive-through window. Spread the love. Spread the happiness.
Exactly. I always ask anywhere I go, and Hunter and Craig can attest to this. I always ask, how are you today? To anybody, I went to Chipotle. I'm not proud of it, but I go there every once in a blue moon.
Good for you.
I stopped at Chipotle and I walked up. I was like, hey, how are you? And the guy looked at me. He's like, I'm good. Thank you for asking. He was so taken aback by that. And I was like, you don't get asked that a lot, do you? He was like, no. I was like, I understand. I work in service. I've also, I did the restaurant thing through high school and stuff and early college. So I've been on that end of it. And I said, it's always shocking to me, the look on people's face when I ask them how their day is going or how they're doing, because they just don't expect it at all. And it's crazy. He gave me half off my food.
Hell yeah.
Wow, it's crazy how a little kindness can go far.
It's a mind switch. You can get them into a good mood or flip that bad thoughts going through their head.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, though, Grace, because you understand. You've been on the show before. You're one of 3 people who have been on more than once. Mm-hmm. And you basically nailed it on the head, kind of what Deez and I have been trying to approach our show on a daily basis, right? Or on a 3 time a week basis. Mm-hmm. We have a moral obligation. We have, we're we're trying to spread that positivity each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so that way when our friends, the 12 to 20 people that pop in on a 3 time a week basis, when they leave their house, when they leave their car, when they are getting ready to go start their day, they walk into their first client, or they go up to somebody and they're still in a good mood, and it just keeps creating that positive chain, that interaction, that hey, we're not going to be sour anymore, we're going to be positive. It's just, I'm so happy to hear you say that, because if more of us felt and acted upon those feelings, maybe we'd be in a little bit of better situation, right?
Right. I mean, honestly, Craig and I have had days where we're like at each other's throat. It happens. We're family and we work together.
Yeah.
We figure it out. But nonetheless, we've had those days, and it's like we pull into a client's driveway and I have to get out and go let them know we're here. And
put on a pretty face.
And walk up and, hey, how are you doing today? And even if I feel like trash, I'm going to say, I'm doing great. How are you? You know, like, it's just what you do. It's customer service, man.
Yeah. So we were in last week. Deeds and I were in Chenoa, Illinois. Actually, we were in, where the fuck were we? We were in
Peoria,
Pontiac. No, we were in Pontiac. And Michael Draper was.
No, they were in Pontiac, Illinois.
Okay. We were not Michigan. We were in Pontiac, Illinois, and we were out with Michael Draper. And we walk into this Mexican restaurant, and Draper says to the gal at the front, and kind of exactly like what you said, he says, "How you feeling?" And the girl, like he just talked, like he spoke emotions. Yeah, remember, Deeds? It was kind of like she went straight faced and didn't know how to answer that response. Yeah. And then like 2 seconds later, she's like, "Excuse me," and he just kind of bounced right back, and he goes, "I said, how you feeling?" And she's like, "Good." And he's like, it wasn't like a, I don't know. He caught him by surprise too, because he's like, I love doing that. I love just finding out, like, you know, pushing people to make them a little uncomfortable, but then realize, hey, this is a friendly conversation. So you just Craig bringing that up brought that memory back up.
Yeah, Craig does that a lot too. Whenever he meets somebody new, he'll go, "Happy birthday."
What the fuck?
He says happy birthday to people all the time. And it's funny.
Happy Easter.
If it's, well, or he'll say happy
Easter. My brothers do. We say happy Easter. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny. It does. It changes people's moods. And it's kind of funny.
Well, and it's great that once you realize that you can have an effect on other people's days, your attitude, your positivity, your interactions do play a role in people's days. Mm-hmm. I'd like to share something with you guys. Yesterday, I was not feeling it. I was in a funk. I hadn't felt this way, and I can't even remember. I dropped my son Julian off for school, and I was all of a sudden I was depressed, like literally depressed. And I don't normally get like that. And I felt like that until about 3:15 yesterday, and I thought something, like, I was kind of genuinely worried. I was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really,
Snickers?
No, I don't know what it was, Deeds. I wasn't myself though. I don't know, something going on in my head. I don't know if it was a mental imbalance. I don't know if it was a food thing, but I was really down. I was supremely down for like an 8-hour stretch, and that doesn't normally happen to me. But I flipped that, eventually that frown got turned upside down and I started feeling better. But it's kind of like what you mentioned earlier. You don't know what's going on in someone else's day. Mm-hmm. And normally I am outgoing and, I like to be fun to be around. We all want to be fun to be around. But man, was I going through a funk yesterday. And I think it was just one person's interaction or something I saw. Mm-hmm. But I remain happy again. Oh, I know what it was. I went to take my son to physical therapy. It's at an indoor soccer facility. Mm-hmm. Billy and I put in a bid, both soccer fields. It's an indoor soccer place. And we didn't get the bid. But I walked in and I looked at all the windows around. And they are thrashed. And I'm laughing my ass off. Yeah, so it looked like they sprayed Windex on a mop and just mopped. Yeah. and didn't dry. So there's all these streaks down all of these big plexiglass windows, and I can see it in Hunter's face. He's like, I bet that put a smile on your ass. It did. I went from being a curmudgeon and being sour, and guys, my stomach hurt. I didn't understand. Like, I didn't know what was going on, but I saw all those streaks on that glass, and I was like, ah, shit. You get what you pay for, homeboy. Like, you should have hired a pro. You said you wanted the shit done right. So, yeah, you saved a couple bucks, but it still looks like.
Quick question. With plexiglass, would you use the rubber? Would you use a squeegee, or would you do microfiber towels or surgical towels? I mean, is it safe?
I would still do. No, it would be safe to not scratch. I would be using rubber.
Gotcha.
And we took that into account. There's 100 big ass pieces. So I priced it high as hell because they wanted it at least once a week or 2 times a week. And, there's some of them are 8 foot tall pieces of glass. And I'm just like, there's 200 pieces, 100 on one side, 100 on the other. And, that takes time. And then you have to go on the inside and do the same thing. So I was like, look, man, here's the rate, and I told him the rate for one. And he's like, that's what I'm paying for a whole month. I'm like, well, yeah. He's paying a janitor, and that's why he gets janitor results. So.
Yeah.
Have fun with your mom.
I'm in Houston, and everybody's here is a handyman landscaper.
Hold on, Hunter. What did you say? Have fun with what?
Have fun with your mop and Windex.
Yeah. So that's seriously like, I was like, what is this? And I kept looking at different angles because, like when you're straight on, you can't always see everything.
You kind of Cornelius.
But then when you're looking from the side, you can see everything. And I was like, oh. And I was actually on the phone with my wife, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, oh, yeah. And I started smiling. And that's what kind of like what brought it right back to me. Because she even was like, did you forget your medicine? Did you smoke something different? Like, sorry.
She needs a Snickers.
Yeah, no, and I don't know what it was, but I was like, no, everything is like normal. I don't know, man. But I wanted to put that out there just so some of our friends that are in this room, in our community, understand that like it's okay to not feel okay every now and again. Mm-hmm. We all go through stuff. And one thing that I'm learning about our great community that we're continuing to pour into and love and support is that we're here for each other. And we've all been there. We can't always be hunky-dory. We can't always be just riding that wave on top. Sometimes you get thrown into the what's that word when you in the waves, or the barrel, or you get thrown under
the undertow.
The undertow, but it's how you pop back up, right? And sometimes we just don't know what little last thing that'll put another smile on your face, or somebody saying something to you that can change your day. So I hope everybody has the great rest of the week and doesn't have a funk like I did. But if you are, and you need somebody to help kick you out of it, call one of your homies, call Deeds, call Goo, call Grace, call Hunter, call somebody.
Greg, call on Tyrone.
Let them know.
Or open up a can of escargot and some olive oil, or some sardines in a mustard sauce, and everything will be just great.
I agree. Why? It means a lot to me, and I probably wouldn't have said that information unless it was Grace and Hunter and Deeds. Like I wouldn't, some other guests I wouldn't feel comfortable enough saying that with, but I just need to let you guys know that I was fucking dragging yesterday, and I just couldn't shake it. But thank goodness I shook it out, got that shit out because it's Friday. And you mentioned anniversary. That's what you got the ballet.
Oh yeah.
Earrings for. Okay, so today is the 22nd anniversary of the day that I met my wife.
Oh,
Marisa.
Congrats.
We met at a sports bar downtown, or down in the old neck of the woods in the old hood, and I knew I was playing pool. I was like, this shorty over there got it going on. Let's go talk. So so we're actually today, my son Julian is playing. Well, he's not playing tonight, but his team is playing my old high school, and my brother's going to be there.
Baby.
It's going to be a great day. Like I said, unfortunately, Julian got hurt when we were in California. It hurt his back a little bit.
Oh.
But seeing my son and his team excel, kicking ass and taking names at my old school, on the same fields that I ran when I was a little shithead kid, it's going to be a fun, emotional experience. And I can't wait just for tonight. And Hunter, I know you and I spoke about specifically what it's like being a sport dad and a sport kid growing up. And you mentioned like, man, I look back at how my parents supported me and took me to all these hockey events and did all this shit. And my kid is getting to a point, he'll be 16 in 4 months. I'm not going to have to drive him to all these events anymore. And Hunter, I'm already starting to feel that. And like, man, he's not going to need me anymore. And like,
just offer to drive him. Because that was really, with me and my dad, that was our like bonding. That's how we bonded, was over hockey. He always wanted to play hockey. His dad wouldn't let him. He said it was too dangerous.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
Right? So, yeah, that was, whether it was going to Michigan for the weekend or Pittsburgh or Buffalo or whatever, or if it was just in-town games, my dad was always there. He'd always stand behind the net. I mean, I remember when he was going, there's a couple rinks where you couldn't stand behind the net.
Like, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, he still found a way to get back there. And he's back there with this digital camera taking all the pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's an important bonding.
I agree. And I now that I'm talking about this too, and I was telling you guys about what was going on yesterday, I hadn't been out at the soccer fields in like a week. And to me, it's kind of one of my happy places as well. And then, my son is a little dinged, so he hasn't physically been playing. And I think maybe that might have also played into a little bit of it yesterday. And as soon as I walked into the soccer, like the complex, there's no games on. This is at 3:30 in the afternoon. It's just a facility where he's also getting work done. But as soon as I walked into the fields, I almost instantly like felt better. And it's weird how something like a sport or something that you love can just make you feel better.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what I needed, was just a little soccer in my day, a little action. So they had a game last night, and Julian was, like I said, was sitting. The team went out and beat that ass. They got a 4-0 win on it. Yeah, it was belt to ass. And and 4 different kids scored, which was glorious. And it was just a fun time. And I do think now that I'm looking back on it 24 hours later, that I just needed a little soccer and some sport in my life, baby. So
I was cleaning some Pizza Hut windows next to a massage parlor, and a guy went in for like 8 minutes and came out with the biggest smile on his face. Like, it's really good in there. That's the way. So Kylie, can I have $60? I'm going to go get a massage. Yeah, it was super long or short. Yeah. He had a big smile, so that's a good way to get happy too.
It's a different kind of release.
There was one of those next in the same plaza as my dance studio for a little while. And,
cool.
Yeah. They're no longer there.
It's funny.
They got to push. Go ahead.
Sorry. No. Continue. No, I interrupted you.
I'll say, if they have a push button on the front door to let you get in there, it's not a legit place. It's
yeah.
Don't go there.
No.
It's funny that you bring up, like, going into the soccer where the indoor soccer field where you used to play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Grace and I actually just went ice skating at the rink that I probably spent a majority of my childhood playing.
How many memories did that bring back, dude? How did that make you feel?
They just started flooding back.
Well, even the smell too.
Yeah, the smell, like, there's just nothing like it, and it was like an instant, like,
there's the Zamboni.
Yeah. It was one of those things. It was a little bittersweet, but I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, I got to join like an old man's league or something. I got to get back on this ice. Like,
it hurts. You'll feel it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I felt it the next day. It was. I like ice skating, but I never did like anything Like, I never figure skated or anything. Friday night skate was really big here when we were in middle school. It still is big with the middle school kids. But so like I would skate at that and stuff. But it was fun going and doing that and just like getting your energy flowing, and it's fun.
Hunter, did you feel like Emilio Estevez in Mighty Ducks when he shows up to like coach the team? This is like it all floods back to you those days.
Oh yeah.
Did you see Mighty Ducks growing up? I mean, did you have the movie to watch D2, D3?
Of course, I've seen all the Mighty Ducks. I've seen probably. Oh, what was that? Young Bloods.
Yeah. Okay.
There was that one. That one had Keanu Reeves in it.
Christian Slater? No.
No. I'm confusing something else then. No, Young Bloods. Rob Lowe.
Bob Lowe.
Canadian.
Part of the Brat Pack.
Rob Lowe. Yeah. What about Goon, the movie with Sean William Scott? Goon 2, where he's like an.
I like that one.
It's one of my favorite. That's our generation slapshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean William Scott is good in that too.
Oh, he's great. He's perfect for it. And then Miracle on Ice. I mean, that is like
Miracle. That's a good one.
That is the USA hockey movie.
Yes. Good stuff. And I was like, I'm the only guy who was ever taken out of the game when I tried to stab a guy with it. Was it Adam Sandler?
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore, yeah. That's a good one. Classic ice skating movie.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I am so happy that we had an opportunity to sit and visit with you, Hunter and Grace. Like,
it was a pleasure.
Hunter, I've been trying to get this you and I lined up since the day I met you. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna parlay it into everything. And now that we are getting ready to do this next convention, and that we know that Craig and Grace are going to be there, I really wanted to have you on to share a little perspective on what it was like for somebody who's not in there, who's not necessarily dialed into the industry, but is part of it due to a spouse or a loved one. And I wanted you to kind of let everybody know that you can have some fun there too, even if you're not a window cleaner.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the best part of that for you when you were there? Do you recall?
Yes, actually. It was Cooter's Garage.
Oh, yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, and no one's up, if you haven't been to the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, if you take a 5-minute walk just across the street, Cooter's Garage, which is a memorabilia / museum of Dukes of Hazzard / Cooter material. That's where it's at. And how long did you spend over there?
Too much time.
We went over there twice.
Yeah, I went in there twice.
So you spent more time at Cooter's Garage than you did on the showroom floor?
I wouldn't say that. Might be equal, but
okay. Fair enough.
Grace got a really nice sticker. It says "I love Cooter."
He got me that sticker.
She rolls her eyes. You know you like it.
Well, okay, this is kind of stupid, but it's funny. A lot of times people make assumptions about me that I am not straight, and so we kind of joke about it. It's hilarious, honestly. So I told him now I'm not going to be able to disprove the lesbian allegations if you got me a sticker for my Jeep that says I heart Cooter.
You don't even drive a Subaru. What the hell?
Right? I know. You're gonna have to get me.
You should get that bumper sticker on one of the trucks. Like, not a Subaru, folks.
Oh my God, Deej, you're too much, bro. You are too much.
In all seriousness, though, it was like my favorite part was honestly just seeing everybody interact with each other and like the community and how supportive it is. It's funny that you bring that up though, because you can ask Grace, like after we were done and like you left or whatever, and we got back to the hotel room. As soon as I walked in, I looked at Grace and I'm like, because I was not sober.
Yeah,
sure.
And I walk in and I just look at her. I'm like, well, I scared him off.
No way, dude. No.
I'm like, I drunk rambled him.
No. I thought, to be honest, that was one of my more memorable conversations of that conference, because it was one of the most real. It was it was like, we weren't supposed, I mean, I feel like people are brought together, and I feel like one of the things that I try to work on in my life and in my head is to remember that regardless of where I am, that I'm there for a reason and I'm at that specific place in time because it was meant to be. So that way I try to not rush myself. I try to not speed. I try to not, it's one of those things that I have to remind myself, especially when I get antsy. And I have an issue sometimes where I get in large settings where I get uncomfortable and then I have to dip. When we were sitting at that dinner table, I did not have that need at all. Like our conversation was going. Like, to be honest, I don't know what was going on at that second, third half of the table. You know what I mean?
No clue.
Me either. But it was a great conversation, and like I said, I knew that I was right where I was supposed to be. And matter of fact, I think we weren't going to be there. Damien and I were going to meet up with. Mike Matthews and I were going to meet up with Damien and his wife, and last minute we get a text and it's like, "Hey, meet us here." And I was like, "All right." So we went there, and yeah, it was one of my more memorable evenings. Then we went outside. I had a little puff action going on and relaxation. Yeah, it was chill. So that was not the time that we did get ran off by the hotel security, though. So
no, I wasn't there for that time.
That was fucking hilarious.
We
got lit up.
I would have been shitting bricks.
We got lit up by hotel security, man. You guys can't be doing that over here. So, yeah. It was hilarious. Yeah. Anyways,
your dog's snoring, Drew. You got to wake him up. He's having a bad day.
That's Floyd, bro. He's over here sawing. He's over here sawing logs.
Noise, and I look up and I see his head, and he's just passed out. I'm like, "Yep, that's him."
Oh my goodness.
Good dog. Jason popped out. There he is. No.
Yeah, Floyd has been. Back. Yeah, Floyd has been with me for a long time. There was a time in my life when I felt like he was the only guy that actually understood me and got me. And I let a lot of people down in my life at that point, but I didn't let Floyd down. So he is a special, special boy. So I love that guy. Speaking of special people, I don't know if you've caught many of the episodes, Hunter, or not, but one of the things that we like to do is give our friends the opportunity to thank some of their special people, give shout outs. Is there anybody either of you would like to give a shout out to?
That's the only person that I can.
There you go. Here. He's a smart dude, isn't he?
One of the hardest working people that I've ever met in my entire life.
Thanks.
Yes. Her stepdad and her mom they're great people. They
treat you like your family.
Yeah, full of love, if you ever needed help with anything, they'll be the first ones to help you. Yeah, that's about it.
Right on, man. Grace, what about you?
I'm thankful for my family, for this one, for putting up with me and helping me when I need it. Thankful for you guys, thankful for all the community, because without the community, I wouldn't be on here talking with you guys, and without the community, Craig and I wouldn't have the museum to go set up again in February. So, yeah. Thanks,
I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited. There's some of the same stuff, some new stuff. Yeah, window cleaner of the year belt. Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
Oh, it's awesome. Can't wait.
Hey, Deeds, who you want to give a shout out to?
I'm gonna kind of draw this one out a little bit. I want to thank Hunter and Grace for coming on the show. It's good to finally, meet you. I love all the tan fish reviews. I'm gonna catch up on those later. Those are really, really amazing. I want to thank all the listeners, everybody. Thank you, Jason, for everything you do. But I want to do a special thing for Hunter here. Let's see if this works.
Oh, geez.
Maybe it'll work.
It's thinking about it.
Who Indeed presents.
Here we go.
Window Cleaners of Genius. Window Cleaners of Genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Married into a window cleaning family. Mr. Married into a window cleaning family. You married into a business and got a window cleaner of the year as a father-in-law. Not one, not two, 3 generations. 3 generations! You You knew Mary and Grace that you'd be marrying into the business, so hand me that towel, sweet boy, and rub that window. It's all hands on deck in the Hansel household. Don't forget the museum! And that's right, you're going to be stepping it up at the IWCA Elevate Convention because you, sir, married into a window cleaning family. Welcome aboard. Put him on the glass. Put him on the glass!
Thank you, everybody. That was my shout out to Hunter. Thank you for being on the show.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
I did that in like 5 minutes last night. I'm going to try doing those once in a while for our
couldn't
special
tell.
guests.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Deeds, I love you, bro. I seriously, I love you.
Thank you.
That is outstanding. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my
That's
god.
strange. I love you guys. I love Craig, and I love everyone. So thanks.
Tip of the cap.
You too. Oh
Tip
my
of the
god.
tip of the cap. Yeah, man. I don't know if I cannot top that for sure. I should have let you go last. I'd like to, yeah, I'd like to thank my boy Floyd over here for keeping it real and letting everybody know that my nonsense doesn't mean shit to him. He doesn't care. I would love to thank Marisa, my wife, for putting up with me for 22 years. Yeah, man, I'm a handful. Yeah. So thank you to her. I would like to give a special shout out. We just found we're going to have a special guest on Monday. We don't normally do Monday guests. Normally it's just Deeds and I, but we're going to have the one and only TJ Gilbert from Squeegee Life on.
Whoop, whoop.
I knew you'd get excited.
In his house. Yeah.
Yeah. So TJ is going to pop on with us on Monday morning. TJ from Squeegee Life, zero rep. He's got it going on. In all honesty, I can say he's probably, one of the, there's a term, he's in our industry, a pod father, because he's been doing his pod for a very long time. We draw a little inspiration from him and others, but TJ's been doing it for a long time. He's got a ton of knowledge, and hopefully he's willing to share some of that with our friends and loved ones that pop in on the show. So Monday morning, TJ Gilbert, Squeegee Live, T Squeege in the hizzy fo shizzy. Team Zero will be represented. So come on by, everybody. Let's have a great weekend. And Deeds, what do you always tell them? Team Zero in the corner.
Put him on the glass. Yeah,
Put him on the glass.
Thank you, guys. Change your rubber.
And I hope your passion bucket's full. Come back on Monday, hang out with me, Deeds, and T Squeege, and we'll have a great time. And hopefully, like Grace said, we're going to help everybody put their best foot forward going into next week. Kick ass, stay up, stay gold, much love, and I hope your passion bucket's full.
Woo.
Put them on the glass.